Information design is the practice of presenting information in a way that fosters efficient and effective understanding of it. The term has come to be used specifically for graphic design for displaying information effectively, rather than just attractively or for artistic expression. Information design is closely related to the field of data visualization and is often taught as part of graphic design courses. Information design is explanation design. It explains facts of the world and leads to knowledge and informed action. History: the term information design emerged as a multidisciplinary area of study in the 1970s. Some graphic designers started to use the term, and it was consolidated with the publication of the Information Design Journal in 1979, and later with the setting up of the related International Institute for Information Design in 1987 and Information Design Association in 1991. In 1982, Edward Tufte produced a book on information design called The Visual Display of Quantitative Information. The term information graphics tends to be used by those primarily concerned with diagramming and display of quantitative information. In technical communication, information design refers to creating an information structure for a set of information aimed at specified audiences. It can be practiced on different scales. On a large scale, it implies choosing relevant content and dividing it into separate manuals by audience and purpose. On a medium scale, it means organizing the content in each manual and making sure that overviews, concepts, examples, references, and definitions are included and that topics follow an organizing principle. On a fine scale, it includes logical development of topics, emphasis on what's important, clear writing, navigational clues, and even page design, choice of font, and use of white space. Similar skills for organization and structure are brought to bear in designing websites, with additional constraints and functions that earn a designer the title information architect. In computer science and information technology, information design is sometimes a rough synonym for information architecture, the design of information systems, databases, or data structures. This sense includes data modeling and process analysis. In the United States, the title of information designer is sometimes used by graphic designers who specialize in creating websites. The skill set of the information designer, as the title is applied more globally, is closer to that of the information architect in the U.S. Early examples. Information design is associated with the age of technology, but it does have historical roots. Early instances of modern information design include these effective examples: John Snow's spot maps, which pinpointed the source of a deadly cholera outbreak in 1850s London, Charles Joseph Maynard's 1861 diagram depicting Napoleon's Russian campaign of 1812, Otto Neurath's international picture language of the 1930s, Florence Nightingale's information graphic depicting army mortality rates. The Maynard diagram shows the losses suffered by Napoleon's army in the 1812 to 1813 period. 6 variables are plotted: the size of the army, its location on a two-dimensional surface, time, direction of movement, and temperature. This multivariate display on a two-dimensional surface tells a story that can be grasped immediately while identifying the source data to build credibility. Edward Tufte wrote in 1983 that it may well be the best statistical graphic ever drawn. Applications. Information design can be used for broad audiences or specific audiences. The resulting work often seeks to improve a user's trust of a product. Governments and regulatory authorities have legislated about a number of information design issues, such as the minimum size of type in financial small print, the labeling of ingredients in processed food, and the testing of medicine labeling. Examples of this are the Truth in Lending Act in the USA, which introduced the Schumer box, and the guideline on the readability of the labeling and package leaflet of medicinal products for human use. Professor Edward Tufte explained that users of information displays are executing particular analytical tasks such as making comparisons or determining causality. The design principle of the information graphic should support the analytical task, showing the comparison or causality. Simplicity. Simplicity is a major concern in information design. The aim is clarity. Simplification of messages may imply quantitative reduction but is not restricted to that. Sometimes more information means more clarity. Also, simplicity is a highly subjective matter and should always be evaluated with the information user in mind. See also, cartography, Chief Experience Officer, content management, data visualization, epidemiology, information architecture, knowledge visualization, new epoch notation painting, plain language, signage, statistics, technical communication, technical illustration, typography, visual literacy, showing wayfinding, web indexing. References. External links, informationdesign.org, International Institute for Information Design, Communication Research Institute, Information Design for the Information Age, Information Design Journal, UK Information Design Association, Society for Technical Communication Information Designer Euro Information Architecture Special Interest Group, Visualizing Information for Advocacy, An Introduction to Information Design booklet on information design for non-profit and non-governmental organizations. McCandless, David. The Beauty of Data Visualization.